7 countries, 1 winner, and nobody saw it coming. Japan has the hype, Thailand has the beaches, Singapore has the skyline, South Korea has the culture wave, Bali has the influencers, Hong Kong has the energy. And then there is Malaysia. Quiet, underrated, sitting in the corner while everyone else gets the attention. And after going through all 7, Malaysia is the one that stopped me in my tracks and made me question everything I thought I knew about travel in Asia. By the end of this video, you are going to have the actual proof. Real numbers, real comparisons, real moments that explain exactly why Malaysia hit different from every other country on this list. Before we get into it, think of the first Asian country that comes to your mind when someone says dream trip. I am willing to bet Malaysia was not your first answer. Drop that country in the comments right now. And if you are new here, this channel is where real travel talk lives. No sponsored opinions, no sugarcoating, just honest breakdowns that help you make better decisions. Subscribe before this video is over. Assalamu alaikum, and let us get into the proof. Here is the setup. 7 countries across Asia: Japan, Thailand, South Korea, Singapore, Indonesia, Hong Kong, and Malaysia. All experienced with the same budget mindset and the same standard for what makes a destination genuinely worth recommending. Hold on to this. Malaysia has a secret advantage that only reveals itself after you have been to the others. I will get to that, but first let us build the case. Japan is everything people say it is. Clean, efficient, culturally rich, visually stunning, but Japan is expensive. A basic meal in Tokyo runs anywhere from 800 to 1500 yen, roughly 5 to 10 US dollars. A hostel bed in central Tokyo starts around 3,500 to 5,000 yen per night, 25 to 35 US dollars just to sleep. Japan is incredible, but it costs you in both money and mental energy. Thailand is the backpacker's paradise. Cheap street food, warm weather, beautiful islands. A plate of pad thai from a Bangkok street stall goes for around 50 to 80 baht, roughly 1.5 to 2 US dollars. Thailand is fun, but tourist scams are common in Bangkok and Phuket. And if you are looking for a Muslim-friendly experience, southern Thailand is the exception, not the rule. South Korea is one of the most visually exciting countries in Asia right now. The food, the fashion, the K-culture energy, everywhere you turn. A Korean BBQ meal per person at a mid-range spot runs around 15 to 25,000 won, 11 to 19 US dollars. South Korea is worth it, but it drains your wallet faster than you expect. Singapore is a masterclass in city planning. Everything works. Everything is clean, but Singapore is the most expensive country on this list. A hawker center meal starts around 4 to 6. A basic hotel room will not fall below SGD 100 per night, around 75 US dollars. Impressive, but not comfortable on a normal budget. Hong Kong is electric. The skyline from Victoria Peak is one of the most jaw-dropping views in the world. But the pace is relentless. Accommodation is tiny and expensive, and the intensity of the city wears you down faster than expected. Indonesia, specifically Bali, is beautiful chaos. The rice terraces, the temples, the spiritual energy of Ubud, all real and powerful. But prices in tourist zones have climbed sharply, and the gap between Bali's Instagram version and the actual experience without a private driver is significant. And then there is Malaysia. This is where the proof starts stacking up. Kuala Lumpur costs less to navigate than any capital city on this entire list. The MRT, LRT, and monorail all run under one touch-and-go card system. A trip across the entire city costs between RM3 and RM5 under 2 US dollars. Compare that to Tokyo, Seoul, Singapore, and Hong Kong, where a single metro journey costs 2 to 4 US dollars minimum. Malaysia's public transport is not just cheap, it is genuinely good. Clean stations, clear English signage, frequent trains, and routes that actually cover the city properly. Food in Malaysia is where the real shock hits. A full plate of nasi lemak with sambal, egg, and anchovies costs around 2 to 4, under 1 US dollar. Roti canai with dal and a teh tarik comes in at 3 to RM5 for the combination. Char kway teow in Penang, one of the best dishes in all of Southeast Asia, runs RM7 to RM10 at a proper hawker stall, and Penang's food scene is UNESCO recognized. The world has officially acknowledged what travelers who come here already know. The food is on another level. Now here is the secret advantage I promised you. Malaysia is the only country on this list that genuinely blends all of Asia into one place. Malay culture, Chinese heritage in Penang and Ipoh, Indian influence across KL, indigenous cultures of Sabah and Sarawak, and a Muslim-friendly infrastructure throughout the entire country. Halal food is not something you search for in Malaysia. It is simply the default. For Muslim travelers especially, that changes everything about how free and comfortable you feel moving through a country. A hostel bed in KL starts around 50 to RM 80 per night, 11 to 18 US dollars. Mid-range hotels in Bukit Bintang run 150 to RM 250 with air conditioning, reliable Wi-Fi, and walking distance to some of the best food in Asia. No other capital city on this list gives you that combination at that price. And then there is Sabah. Most people only talk about KL and Penang, but Sabah in Malaysian Borneo has Mount Kinabalu standing at 4,095 meters, one of the highest peaks in Southeast Asia. The Kinabatangan River is where you see wild proboscis monkeys, pygmy elephants, and orangutans in their actual natural habitat. Not a zoo, Borneo wild, and most travelers flying over Malaysia to reach Bali have no idea it exists. That is the proof. The transport, the food, the cultural variety, the Muslim-friendly infrastructure, the hidden natural wonders, and a cost that lets you stay longer and move more freely than almost anywhere else in Asia. 3 takeaways. Malaysia is the best value capital city experience in Asia when you factor in food, transport, and accommodation together. It is the only destination on this list giving you Malay, Chinese, Indian, and indigenous culture under one roof. And Sabah is the most underrated natural destination in all of Southeast Asia. Hit that like button so this reaches more travelers who need to hear it. Subscribe because every week this channel delivers real destinations with real numbers. Drop in the comments the country you thought would win before you watched this. 7 countries, 1 winner. And now you have the proof.